Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Welcome, everybody. Let's talk about the stock market today. We're looking at the E-mini S&P 500 futures for December 16th, okay, 2021. So we can see the market's reopened already for tomorrow's session. We can ignore that. That's that little candlestick right there. We're looking at this one. Well, we hit an all-time new high today, 47.43, but it was short-lived, as obviously we can tell. And the sideways chop continues. Okay, however, we do need to be aware, I talked about this before, that we have higher highs, yeah, and let's see, yeah, what was the low here? What was this low? 45.87. This one was 45.96. Okay, yeah. Even if we don't count that big green candlestick, but in any case, we're getting higher highs and higher lows, right? So I talk about this all the time. This is a rising 50, so on the average, prices are going up. Okay. The other way we can look at this is if we take it from there, okay, and then we kind of have that, which is, not really a whole lot of candlesticks to go on yet, but this would be a very wide symmetrical triangle, okay. But it's a little bit early to get into all that because don't really have enough candlesticks yet. The other way is you've still got a channel going on here, but not really, not anymore. That channel's been busted. Channel's been busted today. That busted any channel we had going on. So it's not technically really sideways chop anymore, not with that upper wick. Okay. Short-term indicators say we're going down. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. With cycle low anticipated right around Christmas, day after, day before. Okay. So let's not forget that's a cycle low anticipated right there. Will it come down and meet the 50? It might. It's done it twice, pretty much. Will it get below it? Maybe. We could get something like that. We might even get something huge. Or fairly huge. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. But for now, on the average, prices are still going up. And I'll tell you what I really think, even if it breaks below this 50 and does whatever it's going to do down here, I don't think it's going to be enough if we just get a little cycle low and then it does that. That's not going to be enough to turn this 50-day down, right? I mean, the September-October event didn't turn the 50 down. Okay, so it's going to require a lot of price degradation to get this 50-day to move down. So for right now, even though you can see there's some consolidation going on here, got a new all-time high today, overall prices are still moving upward. Okay, so it's going to take some significant, a lot more than just this even, for a bear market to push this down. Okay. If you're talking about bear markets, excuse me, or a big correction or something, hasn't happened yet. Short term, yeah, prices look like they want to decline down into this cycle low here. Okay, let's look at the monthly. Again, nothing much changed here in the last couple days, or more than a couple days, last 3 or 4 weeks actually. Okay, still looks strong on the MACD, though we have significant divergence warnings on the monthly chart. And again, like I've been saying, if this dot stays there and this one stays there when at the end of September, then we know there's a good chance that prices are going to decline. As a matter of fact, we already kind of know that, right? We know there's the monthly showing price decline. Hasn't showed up yet, okay, significantly, but it's in the wind, guys. There's going to be some type of significant decline somewhere, okay? I don't know You know, we're really really far. This one, even I haven't talked about this in a while. The amplitude away from the 50 month is huge. I mean, look at it here. It was here. Look at this. Yeah, that's pandemic. This was 2018. It wasn't pandemic. Okay, came all the way down and touched the 50. Can you imagine? Even we get this, and this thing is still just kind of tracking along, and you're talking about 1,000-point drop, guys. Okay, it's coming. I don't know when. Maybe it's going to be January, February, middle of next year, whenever. There's going to be 1,000-point drop, which is approximately the amplitude away right now. You know, more than 1,000 actually. We're at 4,500-ish at the bottom of this candlestick for the monthly, and the 50 is at 3,265. I mean, phew. You know, 45, 35 is 1,000. Let's call it. Okay, whatever. Another 200 or 300, 1,200, 1,300. So I see 1,000-point drop coming in the stock market on the monthly time frame. Doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, next week. Obviously, to drop 1,000 points is going to take a little while. Okay, but I think it's going to happen. In fact, I'm positive it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Count on it. Is it going to be in 2022? We shall see. But this will return to the 50 at some point. Okay. Weekly. This also looks like it's on the weak side. Flat. These are pointing, well, one of them's pointing down. This one's flat too. Either way, that's not a sign of strength. Okay. Not a sign of strength. Okay. The market just overall looks weak, even though it hasn't showed up yet, but it will. Now I'm going to switch over to the hourly chart for the premium members. Okay. What I mean, just real quick, back on the daily. So what do I think is going to happen tomorrow? I think there's more weakness. At best, there's chop. This all-time high was little, like, you know, was not sustainable, right? More chop. It's weak, but don't ignore that. Okay. Now, if this daily gets down and breaks below the 50, okay, you know, we have something other than just the sideways chop moving along the 50-day la la la. You know what I mean? Okay, we're obviously continuing to be in sideways chop here, though this has changed the dynamics a little bit. Okay, it certainly has, with that all-time high kicking in right there. That's changed the dynamics. That, believe it or not, though it doesn't look like it, that's a little bit of strength coming in right there. Though I think short term, don't ignore this cycle low coming up. So we'll see if this pricing stays above the 50 or not. I think we'll get price decline in here, you know, as we approach Christmas and touch the 50, below the 50, whatever. Do I think it's going to be the market's going to fall out on the bottom? Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. No, not yet. But we will get that 1,000-point drop, guys. It will happen. Okay, premium members, looking at the hourly chart here. What do we got going on? Well, today was a pretty big day. Hit all-time high up here at 47.43. Clearly that candlestick right there was a monster candlestick at 2 p.m. Okay. I just, you know, I don't, here's the thing, guys. I'm sorry, that was 2 p.m. yesterday, my bad. Yeah, that was 2 p.m. yesterday, I think. Yeah, so never mind, sorry. 2 p.m. yesterday, never mind, scratch that. Hourly chart, yeah, it started right here today. It was a nice day. Mostly it was overnight. Right, this all-time high was, when did that kick in? Yeah, 5 a.m. in the morning. So all that was overnight, guys. Chugga, 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 chugga. That was a nice trade right there. Anybody who traded overnight made some good money. That was a lot of money from 47.40, or I'm sorry, from 4,700 up to about 47.40. That's some serious money overnight right there. And then the rest of the day was bombs away. We're right back where we started. Okay, bombs will either. I mean, this day. I'm looking at this day right here. I don't care. Manipulated by Fed Reserve, BlackRock, and the market maker manipulation. Yeah, it's obvious there's manipulations going on here, right? To me, it is anyway. But I don't really care. The point is, there's a whole lot of money made on this day. I mean, you can't really ask for a better day. Okay, it's just look at this. The whole day, intraday was down. And before intraday, the whole night was up. I mean, you can't ask for better. Okay, just look at this. You took the trade last night because it was huge MACD. these were elevated. Obviously, the SMI was elevated. Okay, and you just traded long. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I mean, how can you not trade long last night? And then today, even if you were super late to the party and did one of these entries right here at this green candlestick, okay, you can see it crossed over. You're like, oh, I got in at the wrong time. It doesn't. Even if you're the worst trader in the history of traders, you short-sighted on this green candlestick, you still had good timing, enough to make money for the rest of the day. Okay, that's how simple it is, guys. Just pay attention to the MACD. Yes, you'll be late to the party. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. Okay, but like I said, the market is chopping sideways, and there's more weakness than strength, in my opinion, for now, especially as we head towards the daily low cycle right around Christmas. Okay, so you could get in on that candlestick right there. I mean, I know it's scary after seeing all this, and we're well above the 50 on the hourly. Okay, but you know, for aggressive traders, it could take that. But certainly by the time that candlestick came in and that candlestick, it was obvious something was going on during the day, right? Okay, let's switch over to crude oil. All right. As I'm getting ready to talk about crude oil here, let me switch over to the daily. For those that haven't got on the Discord server for premium members, take advantage of it. Grab the link in the description below this video. Jump on the Discord server. I just added a fixed income channel to the Discord server. I got 2 bonds in there that I think are decent. Okay, you can look at that if you're into fixed income, and you get to join the rest of the members and talk about what type of trades are going on. Okay, let's look at crude oil today. So that's the new session right there. A little bit of an up day. Okay, 2 days in a row. Today's kind of a smallish day, but 187 in crude oil. That's pretty good. That's definitely tradable. Overall, though, crude oil is just chopping sideways, just like the stock market, guys. If you look at crude oil and look at the stock market, they're doing the same thing. Obviously, the difference is the stock market's above the 50, right? Whereas crude oil is below. So any red day I see in here would be a day I would trade. Any red day, okay, I'd trade it short. There's obviously some sign of strength on the MACD going on. These indicators are definitely not showing strength. Flat there and down there. Okay. But sideways chopping crude oil, just kind of floating around, one day up, one day down, up, down, up, down. Okay, just some chop going on in there. Probably going to see chop, guys, for the most part through the rest of the end of the year. You know, there's taxes and people are, you know, looking to get their taxes in order, and that has a lot to do with December. You know, is people are positioning themselves for their taxes, selling off the stuff that's weighing them down. Okay, a lot of that going on. Okay, let's look at the monthly here. Nice green month, but a lot of damage was done back there in November. Okay. Divergence warnings going on here. And this is still pointing down. MACD's trying to come down. So a green month, but still weakness in the indicators. Let's look at the weekly here. Yeah, that's looming large. And I said this yesterday, I've been saying it for the last few days. It's going to take a lot of upward pressure, which could happen for this MACD to turn. Right now, it's gotten a little bit of legs under it, and it's gotten away from the 50-week just a little bit. So even though we get a red candlestick here on this weekly, if it gets, you know, it's just trying to separate itself from the 50-week. But the MACD is showing, oh my gosh, lots of weakness here. Okay. But even here, it showed a lot of weakness and then turned right around, crossed over, and took off. Okay. So short-term indicators are trying to tell us there's going to be some strength, but it's going to have to prove it. Right now, it's not really showing it. There's not enough there to really say that crude oil is going to get a big rebound. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the hourly. All right, let's go look at the hourly. Session was from here to here. A lot of chop. This is definitely tradable candlestick. I know it's above the 50, but since crude oil is well below the 50 in the daily, you're definitely going to trade that candlestick right there. Those and those, right? No reason not to trade them. Trade the big red candlesticks, guys, on the hourly chart. That's how I would do it. It's really that simple. Just trade any candlestick that's giving you decent red. Okay. Once you get a third of the way down, this is something I talk about this all the time. If you're below this, if on this red candlestick, if it gets below the lowest part of this candlestick, you trade all that. Okay, this one would be hard to trade. You know, I probably, now looking at it, I probably wouldn't trade it. But this one's fairly tradable. And why? Because as soon as it gets below that lower wick right there, you get all that. That's just a really simple rule that I follow. It makes it can make you a lot of money. Okay, it's a very simple rule. You don't necessarily play. You're not going to be placing a lot of trades throughout the day. You might only place 2 or 3 trades throughout this day on the hourly chart. But so what? Again, I talked about $100 a day, $200 a day, $300 a day. Would you be happy? Would you be happy with $500 a week? That's $25,000 a week. I mean, I'm sorry, a year. What about $200 a day? So, you know, and for some accounts that might be $300, $400, $500 a day, $1,000 a day, whatever it is. Okay, but most traders on this channel probably are not big accounts. All right. So just think about it. If you made $100 a day, would you be happy? How about 50? What about $250 a week? So, you know, I talk about being practical and being rational and not always trying to think about, I'm going to hit a home run today. I'm going to hit a home run today. Just relax. Just be steady. And at the end of the year, think about it right now. If at the end of December, you could look back on your account, okay, and you tallied up your year and you're 25K up for the year. That's a thumbs up year, guys. Okay, you might say, it's not enough for me to live on my bills. Okay, I didn't say it was, but it's still a good year. Okay, that's the only point I'm trying to make. Be realistic about your trading. As your account grows, you can increase your position size while still having your risk fairly low. That's the whole goal, okay? All right, let's move on to natural gas. I'm sorry, to gold. Okay, gold, finally. I mean, you know, a little bit of strength going on here. A little bit of strength, even though this is the new day, so forget that. They were looking at that day right there. Finally, above the 50. Finally, gold's giving us something. You know, believe it or not, and now that I'm looking at this, gold could be leading the way. Seriously, think about everything chopping sideways right now. Everything in the market's chopping sideways. Stock market, crude oil, all the big products are chopping sideways. Gold has busted above the 50. Okay. Now, I know the S&P 500 and probably other indices are above the 52, but I'm just saying this is a pretty big day for gold right here, right? Kind of leading the way there, guys. If this thing gets ready to take off, you know, we could see the weekly and the monthly begin to change its behavior, and gold could take off. That's how it starts. It starts with the short time frame charts first, and then it makes its way into the longer time frame. So this is actually a good sign for gold. If it can keep its head above the water, guys, are we going to get something like that? That would be monstrous huge. Okay, so gold, yeah, I'm seeing a little something here in gold. Okay, liking gold. One of the premium members today, I won't mention the name, he knows who he is, mentioned gold today. I didn't get a chance to trade it. I traded ARLP, by the way, that stock that I talked about. It was a 3-day swing trade, which was very profitable, 3 days. Okay, so I didn't trade anything else, just been kind of chilling. I got other things going on, you know, a business that I'm running and other things. Okay, I'm still in IT. I got all kinds of requests to do software development, so it's just crazy. The world's crazy. There's a lot going on right now, which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have. All right, so let's take a look at. So I think there's strength in gold, guys. That's what I'm saying. Looks like there's some strength coming back into gold. Let's look at the monthly. Okay, here it looks weak as heck. Okay, that's it. Weak, weak, weak. You know, these are not strong. Kind of pointing up. More like flat. Okay, just chugging along here, sideways. Okay, so the monthly is not very strong. Okay, and the daily is going to have to do a lot of work to change this picture. All right, let's look at the weekly. The weekly, smack dab right on the 50 week, came up. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a sign of strength. Okay, the Big Daddy says we're going somewhere. A whole lot of work to be done for this to turn. And I don't, you know, the MACD a lot of times on the weekly is just flat like that. It's very common, so I don't sweat it. When you get this kind of stuff in a big gap on the weekly, that's nice. Look at all this monster trading going on in gold back there. okay, on the weekly. All right, so that looks good, guys. We're going to see if on the weekly is this resistance, or is next week going to be one of those? Because if it gets above that, guys, that's a good sign for gold. Guys, I like gold. It's a very tradable product. Okay, there's been so many opportunities in gold. I mean, just look at this weekly chart. It's crazy. So much opportunity in gold. Let's look at the hourly. Very strong day. Wow, that's the whole session right there. Look at that. Monster mash. Monster mash. This right here, guys, well, how do you not trade it? It's the Mississippi River. Okay? Obviously, that's USA, United States of America. Mississippi River is our main river down the middle of the nation, okay? More or less the middle. Colorado River, too. But when you got, okay, Suez Canal, Panama Canal, take your pick. Okay, that's huge. Trade it. Oh my gosh, hope somebody traded gold today. Seriously. Look at this. We're way up here above the top line. Look at this. Here's the top line. We're way up here. You know what's this saying here? Somebody please trade me. Trade me. Trade me. That's just screaming, trade me. This is screaming, trade me. Okay, really, seriously. All right, okay. I don't have to spell it out, do I? Just look at the doggone MACD. It's above. It's above. Look at the MACD. Big gap. Okay, above the 50. Above the 50. Oh my gosh, trade it. Okay. Look at the SMI above the top line. Okay, the 101 of trading, guys. There you go. Intraday traders, jump on it. It's the same thing back here when it was below the 50. Okay, same thing. You're just looking at the opposite. All right, let's move on to natural gas. If I can get it to work. Come on, natural gas. Let's do this. All right. Oh my gosh, natural gas is looking tradable on the hourly. It's looking tradable. Lots of chuggy sideways, though. Still just, natural gas got work to do. Not tradable. I mean, it's not tradable intraday, really. Yeah, maybe barely. We'll look at the hourly. I shouldn't say that. We'll look at the hourly. Definitely not tradable as a swing trade. Swing traders don't touch natural gas. Intraday, wait until I get to the hourly chart, and then I'll give you my opinion. Okay. Monthly. Well, the picture hasn't changed. Natural gas on the monthly, there could be more price decline. We could see more, which is, here in Texas so far, we've had a mild winter. It's been mild here in December, but usually January, February we finally get hit with some, especially February, we get hit with some cold weather. But right now it's been mild, so we'll see if natural gas takes off in the heart of the winter, January, February. But so far it doesn't look like it. Okay, weekly. Yeah, wow. And these are really, these are really getting to the point where, how can you not get a bounce, right, on the weekly chart? Look how below the bottom line these are. I mean, this is like really way down there. My goodness. So, at some point you'd think you're going to get a bounce here. Let's look at the hourly. Yeah, see, now this is tradable. It's not swing tradable, it's intraday tradable. This is the entire session on the hourly chart for today was right like that. Okay. Isn't it interesting, guys? Just look at this chart. Now, for those that are paying attention, who remembers what gold did? Oh my gosh, it did the same thing. Now tell me markets aren't manipulated. Well, of course they're manipulated. It's like the market makers, and they're in cahoots with the Fed and BlackRock and whoever else. I mean, they just do the same thing, It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, They're not free markets. They're like hybrid. It's like free/socialist market. Okay? Seriously. I mean, anybody can see that. It's not a totally free market. If you think United States stock market is it like a free market, you're not. You're dreaming. That ain't happening. Look at this. Exact same thing gold did. Up half the day, down the other half of the day. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. Was it gold? Or maybe it was S&P 500. It doesn't really matter. The point is they did the exact same behavior. Yeah, it was the S&P 500, right? Did the same thing. It did this and it did that. Same exact doggone thing. But in any case, natural gas on the hourly chart was extremely tradable today. Extremely tradable. Now, is as beat up as it is, I wouldn't have traded the green side. I just wouldn't have touched it. It's too risky. But I would have traded the heck out of that. I mean, as soon as I saw this candlestick halfway down, I'm in it. That's big money today on natural gas. Nice intraday chart for natural gas. For all the products so far. All of them. Gold, S&P 500, gold, natural gas, all had great intraday charts. Not a one of them was a bad trade. Not a one of them is sitting there doing nothing. They all look great. Intraday, anyway. All right, let's go look at wheat. Look at this hourly chart. Even wheat's tradable. It's crazy. Let's go look at the daily. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wheat finally got the slap down. Look at that candlestick. 36 points. The run of tracking along the 50-day is over. Over. You mean wheat finally could no longer defy gravity? Well, oats is even worse defying gravity. Wheat just could not do it any longer. Huge day in wheat. Huge. That was just bound to happen with this going on. I'm surprised it held up this long. Look at that. Now, the real thing is, does it just do one of these and pop back up and, take off to the moon? I don't think so. I'm not saying it won't come back above, because it probably will at some point. But I think even if we wait till February, March, April, whatever, or it could be right now. This could be the beginning of something bigger, because it feels like that. But in any case, whether it's right now or going into the early part of next year, I think that the price decline for the grains, especially for wheat and oats, is going to be huge. And this was just begging to happen. Okay. Now, of course, we need to be careful. These are seriously deflated down here. But, so there could be a bounce. And obviously, okay, I'm sorry. That was yesterday. But in any case, this is today, the green candlestick. I forgot that wheat opens up at 7. And it's, at my time, it's not 7 yet. Okay, but in any case, it doesn't really matter. The point being here that there was a lot of damage yesterday, I should say. Okay, and today was a mildly green day. But the real thing is this thing's beginning to flatten out. Today didn't get back up to the 50 and get rejected. So at some point, it may get up there and get rejected. Or if you really want to pay attention on the wheat, it's if it just maintains a buffer zone and just kind of plays off that's like a trader's dream. Okay, because then you can trade it short. Every red day, just trade short. All right, let's go look at the monthly. Yeah, divergence warnings going on there. Been talking about this. See if they stick around through the whole month. Not a strong month. Okay. And just like this S&P 500 and probably the other indexes or indices. Okay, where are we at right now? We're at 768 and the 50's at 560. Okay, so just about 200 points. Okay, guys, guess what? This will make its way down to the 50. It's going to happen. Is it going to be in the early part of 22? In the middle? Late? It doesn't matter. It will do it. It's going to happen. Just like the S&P 500. It will do it. It'll come down. And when it does, it's going to be huge. All right, let's look at the hourly. Talk about huge. That was yesterday. This is today. Oh my gosh. Wow. I would have traded this. So far below the 50 hour. How crazy is that? Look how far below it is. Look at the distance. How do you not trade these 3 candlesticks? These are the 3 candlesticks to trade. 3 little piggies. You could trade this. It's a bit risky because we're below the 50 now on the daily. But you could trade it. Especially by the time you got to that candlestick right there. You could trade it. You have to really have your proper risk management. But here's the thing. The MACD was telling you it was okay. That little zone right there is telling you, okay, we're going to the moon, Alice. Got it? SMI separated. So it's a risky trade because it's below the 50 on the daily. But for intraday traders, I mean, this is a trader's dream. You get a nice spread right there. The SMI does the same thing. You just trade it. Second candlestick, you're in. You got to have some pretty decent stop losses in place. But yeah, there was money to be made. But to me, the safest trade was those 3 red candlesticks right there. Okay, wheat's tradable, guys. Just like, I mean, they're all tradable. I actually think crude oil, gold, and wheat are way more tradable than the indices. They've been that way for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. They're way more tradable than S&P 500 or even NASDAQ or anything else. There's just so many opportunities in other products, guys. Take advantage of it. Okay. All right, let's go look at oats. Oats. Let's look at the daily. Look at oats, guys. Same thing as wheat. Just was holding on, still holding on. Look at this. Can it get any thinner? Look at this candlestick. Is that a candlestick right there? What is that? Had a range of 8.5. It's like, and just so you know, the oats hasn't, like wheat, the grains haven't opened up for the new session yet because they open up later, like 2 hours after most products do. So they're going to open up here in about 15, 20 minutes, I think. What time is it right now? Yeah, in about 14 minutes they're going to open up. So I'm doing this video, they haven't opened up yet. So this candlestick is the most recent candlestick. Look at that thing, a little dinky red thing, and it's just tracking along, like just barely staying above it. Okay, and doggone, how does it do it? How does it stay above the 50? We have a need to know. All right, so I think there's a good chance it may do what wheat does and gives us a big kaboosh. Is it going to happen? We'll see. Or, okay, we have to wait to see. But right now, it's barely holding on. Barely. Yes, I have one contract on oats. And I'm not giving it up yet. All right, let's go take a look at the monthly. Small little candlestick. Sign of weakness going on here. The MACD long-term says, to the moon. But oats looks little tiny candlestick. November gave us a divergence warning right there. Talked about this before. Almost no divergence warnings for years. Okay. Now we got 2 in a row. Watch out. Okay. I still contend that oats is going to make some people very wealthy. And I'm serious. There's going to be some people, okay, and I'm not just talking about hedgers. It's okay to hedge for those that need to hedge. Okay, I'm talking about, investors. Investors are looking at the monthly and weekly charts. Okay, they're investors. They got probably big accounts. They're gonna make a trade of a lifetime. In fact, I bet they've already taken positions. Okay, I'm almost sure of it, and they're gonna make big money, guys. Hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars are gonna be made on oats. It's gonna be epic. All right, let's go look at the weekly. Come on, oats. Come on. Right? You know what I'm saying? Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is that? Look at the distance away from the 50 on the weekly chart and the monthly. Oh my gosh. All right. Same thing as wheat. Will it do it now or will it do it like springtime? Maybe even halfway into 2022. What's going to happen? We'll have to wait to see. But this is the weekly chart. But let's look at the hourly. Again, oats, just so you know, fairly thinly traded. That's why you see these little specks. That means really no trade happened that hour. So oats is not something to really be traded intraday, in my opinion, though I'm sure some people do it. But I wouldn't really trade it that way. But you could use the hourly chart if you're looking to take a position to improve your entry. Okay, so I don't really analyze the hourly chart for oats because I don't think it's something you should trade intraday. Okay, but if you really, really wanted to, okay, the same rules apply. It's just look at oats. It's all over the place, right? Up and down. It's all over the place. Okay. All right, guys and gals, that is it for now. Going to be some really cool things coming up in the new year. Okay, I may even dive into some more fixed income going into the new year. Okay, I believe that's going to happen, and when I do, I'll share that with everybody. It'll probably be corporate bonds, but I might get into some dividend stocks, though I tend to not do that as much, even though I'm doing ARLP right now. Okay, but so be on the lookout for that. January, February, whatever, March, going into next year. I think I'm going to be putting a little bit more into some fixed income, probably corporate bonds if the opportunities are there. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Talk to you all real soon again next time.